hosted by Matt Riches. Watch the market unfold. $1 trillion tickets, turning data to gold. $1 trillion tickets, watch the market unfold. $1 trillion tickets, turning data to gold. $1 trillion
Super popular.
tickets, watch the market unfold. $1 trillion tickets, turning
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever you're tuning. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you're tuning in from around the globe. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Welcome to the $1 Trillion Tickers broadcast. I'm your host, Matt Riches. It is Wednesday, July 8th, 2026. Happy Wednesday. Today, the market is back under pressure. The fear and greed index has slipped back into fear at 43. Nvidia is still the most valuable company in the world after Apple failed to pass it yesterday. The 10-year Treasury Yield note has gapped up to 4.57%. Oil is surging after renewed U.S. and Iran tensions. At 11 a.m. Pacific, we have the FOMC Meeting Minutes. So today's question is simple. Can buyers defend support before the Fed minutes? Or does rising oil, rising yields, and geopolitical risk keep pressure on the market? I track the headlines, the data, and the market levels so you don't have to. This show is for education and entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research, but you can use this show as a foundation. Before we get into the charts, let's get into the mindset with our mantra. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be happy. I deserve the wealth that I'm building for me and my family. Riches and freedom, they come to our hands. I'm the master of all I command. My learning is limitless. My earnings are too. The more I discover, the more I can do. The stock market is a machine of design, and I have the power to make that wealth mine. I am capable. I am skilled. I am bold. Blessings on the journey as the vision unfolds. All right, now let's get into the data, and let's start with Forex Factory. So we have one red folder today at 11 a.m. That is the FOMC meeting minutes. That matters because traders will be looking for clues about how the Fed is thinking about inflation, growth, labor, and future rate policy. If the minutes sound hawkish, that can pressure stocks. If the minutes sound more balanced, the market may breathe a little. But until then, traders may stay cautious. So now let's talk about sentiment. The fear and greed index is back at 43. That puts us in fear. Yesterday, we were watching whether the market could hold neutral or not. It could not. So now that we're back below that line, so sentiment has cooled off again. Now let's talk about the market cap race. Yes, Nvidia is still number one. Apple did have a red day yesterday. They were doing so good in the pre-market that it was looking like that they would be able to pass Nvidia. But no, Nvidia has kept the crown. All right, the VIX is at 17.5, so it's higher than it was yesterday. Let's check out Robert Greene's daily law for today. Title, The Anti-Seducer. Daily law. The lesson today is to recognize and remove behaviors that repel people, especially insecurity, self-absorption, or lack of subtlety. Robert Greene's daily law today is about insecurity. The anti-seducer is not repelling people because they lack effort. They repel people because they're too wrapped up in themselves. They are too needy, too reactive, too judgmental, too insecure. And because they cannot get outside of themselves, they cannot truly read the other person. For long-term investors, this connects to emotional discipline. The market punishes insecurity. If every pullback makes you panic, you will sell too early. If every rally makes you chase, you will buy too late. If every headline controls your emotions, you will never build a steady process. The investor has to step outside of the emotion of the moment and look at the bigger structure. For day traders, the law is even more direct. Insecurity shows up as overtrading. It shows up as revenge trading. It shows up as moving stops. It shows up as forcing a setup because you want to be right. Today has oil risk, Fed minutes, rising yields, and fear creeping back into the market. That is not the environment to trade emotionally. You have to stay calm, respect the levels, respect the reaction, and trade what the market is currently showing. Stay patient, stay disciplined. Execution over emotion, process over prediction. Now let's get on these charts, y'all. All right, let's start with Nvidia. Current price, $194.88. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low at $192.90, followed by $191.20, $198.80, and then we got a small gap right here. This gap ends at $189.66. Underneath that, we got $187.85, $185.75. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of $196.84, followed by $198.41, $200.60, $202.95, and then the bottom of this gap, which starts at $203.76. Next, we got Apple currently in the pre-market at $309.93. To the downside support, we got $308.68, which is a pre-market low, followed by $305 and $302.60. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of $311.70, followed by $314.35, $315.48, $317.40, which is the all-time high. And our first level in price discovery land is $319.45. Next, we have Google currently in the pre-market at $363.20. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low at $360.81, followed by $356.45 and $350.40. To the upside resistance, wow, it's a big move here in the pre-market for Google. So we'll start with yesterday's low of $365.50, followed by the pre-market high of $368.80, $370.65, $363.16, $376. Now keep in mind, there is a Smart Money Concepts resistance zone that starts at $367.08 and goes all the way to $376. So keep that in mind. Next, we have Microsoft currently in the pre-market at $383.52. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low at $381.73, $380.80, $374.90, $367.45. To the upside resistance, we got yesterday's low at $388.22, followed by the pre-market high at $389.58, $392.20, $395.57, $396.80, and then $401.75. Next, we got Amazon currently in the pre-market at $243.32. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low at $241.38, $239.55, $237.40, $233.80. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of $245.75, $246.75, $248.93, $249.70, and $252.50. Next, we got TSM currently in the pre-market at $430.13. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low of $425. We got the bottom is actually inside the Smart Money Concept support zone. The bottom of this support zone is going to be $419.20. Underneath that, we got $413.25 and $405.50. To the upside resistance, we have the top of this Smart Money Concept resistance zone, which is $436.14. Followed by $438.15, the pre-market high of $439.67. Yesterday's high of $439.80, which is basically the same area. But above that, we got $446.65, $451.80. Next, we got AVGO. This is actually the most bullish of all the $1 trillion tickers this morning. Current price is pushing pre-market highs on this candle here. Current price $374. To the downside support, we got 366.65. We got yesterday's low at 362. We got the pre-market low at 360.64. And last week's low at 356.45. To the upside resistance, since we are pushing pre-market highs at this current moment, I'm not going to say pre-market high. Above that, we got 377.35, 379.60, 386.65, and 391. Excuse me. Next, we got Tesla currently in the pre-market at 399.51. To the downside support, we got 396.03, which is the pre-market low, followed by 389.30. We got the top of the Smart Money Concepts support zone at 387.84. Inside this zone, I do have a level here at 379.30. The midway point of this zone is 377.96. And then we have our previous month low at 368.60. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high at 403.75, followed by 410.10, 419.56, and 423.70. Next, we got Meta Platforms. Currently in the pre-market at 609.33. To the downside support, we got yesterday's low at 306.66. We got the pre-market low at 601. And then we got the top of this gap here at 595.14. Inside this gap, I got 591.65, 580.20, 568.85, and then the bottom of the gap is 565.56. To the upside resistance, we got 614. 618.28, which is a pre-market high, 622.85, 625.37, 628.28, and the bottom of our Smart Money Concepts resistance zone, which starts at 629.32. Next, we have MU currently in the pre-market at 905. To the downside support, we got yesterday's low of 891, followed by 883.25, 875.08, which is the pre-market low, and 854.35. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of 916, followed by 934.85, 942.02, which was yesterday's low, which is the bottom of this gap. Inside the gap, I do have 950.28, 960.20. The halfway point of this gap is 961.47, and the gap will be filled at 981. Next, we got SpaceX. Currently in the pre-market at 150.81. To the downside support, we got yesterday's low of 148.86. The pre-market low of 148.20. 147.10, previous month low. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high at 152.53. 153.10, 154, and then 159.30. Next, we got Eli Lilly, who hit an all-time high yesterday. Currently in the pre-market at $1,231. To the downside support, we got yesterday's low at $1,222. The pre-market low at $1,215. 1208 and 1194. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of 1240. 12, and then back to all-time highs. Next, we got Berkshire B, 504.78 currently. To the downside support, we got yesterday's low, 503.75. We got the pre-market low of 503.45. I actually don't have any other levels until 500. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of 505.90, followed by 507.93, and then 512.10. Next, we got SPY currently in the pre-market at 473. Excuse me. Whoa, no, 743.23. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low of 739.35, followed by 738, 736.35, 732.10, 722.60. To the upside resistance, we got yesterday's low of 745.21, pre-market high of 747.08, 749.35, 750.96, 751.30, 752.40. I know it's a lot of levels in this area here, so it's a lot of sellers in this area. Next, we got QQQ currently in the pre-market at 704.47 to the downside support. We got so we do have last week's low of 702.80. We have a 1 hour level at 699.55. And we have the pre-market low of 697.86, followed by 697.45, 695, 692.95. To the upside resistance, we got 707.55. I got too many levels on here. Hold on, I gotta delete some of these levels. So what I say? To the upside resistance, we got 706.40, 707.55, 710.06, which is the pre-market high, 713.85, 716.15, 716.35, 721. Next, we got IWM. I like trading IWM, y'all. Current price, 294.17. To the downside support, we got a last week's low of 292.40, followed by the pre-market low of 291.35, 289.85. And we have the top of our smart money concept support zone at 288.99. The midway point of the zone is 285.38. I do have a level here at 284.05. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high at 295.22, 295.50, 296.75, 297.80, and yesterday's high of 299.97, which is basically 300. Do you trade futures? Current price, 7,459. To the downside support, we got 7,446. Man, y'all ain't trading no futures, man. Who cares? That's it, man. Set your alerts, man. Let's get to this money, man. Shoot. I might trade some futures. But I know y'all, if you trade in futures, put it in the comments or send me a DM and I'll do levels for futures. Until then, I'm just doing the $1 trillion tickers and the ETFs.
Chase excellence, never chase money. Why? Because money has an incredible way of finding excellence. Did you chase excellence and not money?
Of course. Of course, man. I didn't refresh this, so it messed up.
Why? Because money has an incredible way of finding excellence. Did you chase excellence and not money? Do you have the intellectual curiosity to learn everything you can about this incredible industry and master it? Become the smartest person in the room. Have you mastered it?
Hey, I've been on fire on this day trade, y'all. No cap. I might have to up these contracts. Been trading 4 contracts. I might up it today. We'll see if we get an A+ setup. I might have to up these contracts. Let's get this paper, y'all. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom.